Generals, gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Company of Heroes 2. Here we are in the semi-finals for the Flexi-Time Championship number 4.
It's going to be between Puddingbag and Jesulin. We are very hyped to be here and casting. We are, of course, the Generals, gentlemen. My name is Archon Hawk.
And I am the Machine, and yes, it is 2 AM for us, but we are so keen.
We're unbelievably keen. Pretty much the keenest we've ever been at 2 AM in the morning to be casting a pretty fantastic semi-final here. Very hype.
I love that wire.
Love that wire. As we say in the majority of our casts, you can tell a good game's about to happen when you have really pro wire coming out.
The only problem with that wire, though, is often you can warp through the doors. Like,
that can happen.
You can get into those doors quite easily. And really, if you're going to wiring off the whole line can be nice, but it takes quite some time and will delay your capping. So it will be Puddingbag as our Soviets and Jesulin as the Wehrmacht.
Start off this first game of what will hopefully be a very entertaining best of 5.
Yeah, there's actually a lot of hype surrounding this series. Do you want to explain the previous games of the tournament?
Yeah, okay, yeah, sure. I'll run over them quickly. So, Jesulin, of course, is actually the winner of the previous Flexi-Time Championship. Jesulin actually won that one, and in order to get here through his bracket, he had to defeat his nemesis for the previous championship, which is, of course, Cataclaw, who he defeated 2-1, the only game that he actually dropped on the series there. So Jesulin doing a pretty good job to get here. On the side of Puddingbag, he's the real outsider. I mean, Jesulin's our number 1 seed coming into this tournament, but you look at Puddingbag, he's a number 7 seed. No one expected him to get this far, especially, I think it was G-Up. I'm pretty sure it was G-Up that ended up versing. Yeah, actually defeating G-Up. I think he ended up dropping 1 game as well on his way to the semi-finals, but just really incredible play, and it's cool to see him here. He really is the underdog in this big heroic semi-final.
Yeah, and this is Angoville, so the first 2 rounds will be Ango. And we do see an MG, 2 Grens, and a Pio, so actually a pretty standard build for the Wehrmacht. Not really that unusual. Let's run over the commanders as well. We do have close air support, mobile defense, and lightning war. So I really like that commander pickup because there's 3 very different types that offer very different things.
Yeah, definitely.
Mobile defense is going to be able to give him that Puma if he really needs it in the mid-game. If he gets behind, he's having trouble dealing with a T-70, for example. Mobile defense it really can catch you up. Lightning War is more sort of safe. Very strong late game. You've got the Tiger and the Ju-87. The combination of those 2 gives you an excellent late game. And close air support is just, it's good in different ways. You have the strafes, you have the munitions conversion, which on a map with this many garrisons and choke points can be great for flamers, for S-mines, telemines. So really a lot of options here for Jesulin. I think we'll probably not see him lock a commander in until perhaps the mid-game when he decides whether or not he actually needs the Puma.
Definitely, yeah. If you need the Puma, you pull out mobile defense. Otherwise, you generally leave it, go for something else here. Puddingbag, he went for an interesting cap order. He's gone 4 cons, not at all surprising here. Does dupe the MG arc as well. He's actually flanking here with the second one.
Excellent.
Love it. We're about 3 minutes 30 into the game. We've already seen our first MG flank.
Yeah. Actually gets out of the cutoff though, but the MG's running for his life. Grenadiers and the cons are fighting here.
Cons should win this engagement if they actually stand
just kidding, there's a flank.
There's another Grenadier squad. Flanks on flanks here. The MG is going to be forced to retreat. However, this Gren squad actually gets inside the garrison here. Going to be quite hard for the cons to force them out. I don't think we've got access to Molotovs just yet. Conscript's going to start retreating here, so pretty violent opening to this game.
Yeah, a little bit violent there. It will be a 4th con coming out as well. Molotov's definitely strong, especially with this many garrisons, and if Puddingbag can hold this cutoff with the garrison, it's very, very hard to break through. It pretty much forces either a Flamer Pio or a Mortar. It is, of course, the Mortar being come out for Jesulin, really valuing the Medic Bunker rather than the Flamer.
Makes a fair bit of sense here. So, yeah, interesting here from Puddingbag. You generally see 4 con into Molotovs. He's gone for the 5th con, which makes me think he's looking for big engagements, and that's what we're seeing here. He's trying to force all these Grenadiers off the map, but it's going to be hard to force Jesulin out of these garrisons without having access to those Molotovs.
Yeah, actually losing the garrison there to Jesulin, so the Pios inside of them making it a lot harder for Puddingbag to hold, and we are starting off this series with a lot of action. Actually, this con squad make it wipe! The Pios in the garrison get the wipe. That is a crushing blow for Puddingbag.
Jesulin claims first blood and Puddingbag loses his 5th con squad.
Yeah, really for not much reason other than just inattentiveness. Definitely shouldn't have lost that one, but maybe tournament jitters. You know, you're versing Jesulin. I'd be nervous if I was versing Jesulin.
I definitely would be Machine. I can see why you would think that. At the same time, though, I mean, Puddingbag, he's played smart. He's had a squad capping up the left-hand side this entire time while these engagements have been going on. So it really has decent map control, has about 50% of it despite having lost that engagement in the Conscript squad.
So I'm just going to disable my Steam. I thought I actually already did that before we started the broadcast. Okay.
Offline. Fantastic.
We're good. Undisturbed.
Love
Our
it,
privacy. Apart from the 100 or so viewers are watching us, but yeah.
This is a pretty heroic Combagineer squad. He's capped pretty much the entire left-hand side. Really has allowed Puddingbag to keep a hold of his fuel, which is absolutely crucial.
Even earlier, he got the cutoff. So doing some great work there. First time seeing action now. And so early Minesweeper is already here for Jesulin. So another reason why he wanted to go for the Mortar rather than the Flamer. I said it earlier, this is such a great map for mines and demos as well with his garrison. So going that Minesweeper early is pretty much essential. You don't really have a choice. Otherwise, you will get punished by mines in demos. Especially as we see there's no mollies, there's no flamers. There will be mines and there will be demos. Or at least there should be.
Yeah, really nice movement there for Puddingbag. Gets a couple of consquads
off. Oh, that mortar shot.
Oh, ouch. The mortar's going to start doing some serious damage. Can't really blob up. It's really going to affect how Puddingbag can play this one. It's going to be hard to use those conscript squads together in synergy when you have that mortar to deal with. Doing nicely so far, but yeah, I definitely agree. The Minesweeper was a good choice. That Combagineer squad was running unchecked for a fair amount of time over the left-hand side of the map, and there are, you know, crucial roads in that area, so definitely could have put a mine down at some point. Yeah,
one thing to really shout out to Puddingbag here, he still has the majority of the map despite having that con model down, the con squad down rather. I think a lot of it has to do with the mortar. Mortars really aren't that great as far as territory goes, but it's kind of necessary in terms of clearing the garrisons.
So Molotov actually got cancelled there. Conscripts didn't go for it. Ooh, whoops. Miss Micro from Puddingbag started the Molotov and actually cancelled the animation. It was going to be going on to that MG42, but he doesn't decide to go for it. We'll force these Conscript squads off. There they go. Jesulin's going to have a bit of a better time there. There's a few more squads out in the field. Should be able to contest map control a little bit better.
Yeah, that's the tier 2 being placed down by Puddingbag. Has a fair bit of fuel as well. So going freeze. Where is fuel? Oh, there it is. I couldn't find the tier 3.
Looking for it.
Yeah,
it's currently going
actually,
up.
I like this timing as well. He's got 51 fuel. By the time the tier 3 actually finishes, he's going to be very close to a T70, but actually he's losing his fuel and his cutoff. So maybe won't be quite on time. Pigran squads are coming out, and look at Jesulin's munitions. He may be going for a Shrek.
Yeah, I mean, has he got the medic bunker, though? I mean, that's the question I want to ask. His squads are pretty low. That's where the munitions are going to have to go next. I mean, look how low some of these Grenadier squads are. Cons are going to have absolutely no problems dropping models when the Gren squads are that low.
Yeah, but he's going to struggle with the T70 if he doesn't have those Shreks.
Definitely.
It's not the greatest map for packs. You have a lot of choke points, hedges, garrisons. You can kind of weave and wind around with the T70.
And telemines are expensive, man.
Yeah, yeah. Especially with the Minesweeper already now completed here for Puddingbag. So if you leave the Shreks in the garrison, they're pretty much unkillable, and they will zone away, and they can chase down the T70. So it's a very risky opener. Going for his medic bunker now, so maybe he won't go for the Shreks until he sees a T70.
It'll have to be the pack, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Once he has the manpower for it.
Ouch, those Pigrans out of cover got shredded pretty quickly. Will the MG getting suppression though?
Closing with the Grenadiers. I like this play. Jesulin deciding to use the MG in synergy with the Pigrans is really nice. Pigrans will stop any of those conscript squads from actually closing and looking for the Molotov. If you can't run up to Pigrans, it's a very, very bad idea.
Actually, you're a filthy liar. There's no Molotovs unlocked.
Oh, what? Oh, there wasn't. Oh, that was why. Okay. It looked like the animation for Molotovs on the MG42, so I assume they were. You saw the model stop that was happening near the garrison? You have to admit, it's a pretty good assumption when you see 5 conscript squads, there might be some Molotovs.
So it will be actually a T70 on the way. He swept a Telemine!
Oh, that's a big deal.
Yeah, that's actually very punishing now, because with that Telemine, that's essentially means he can't get Shreks. Already has the medic bunker, but with Jesulin having a lot of territory, he shouldn't be that far off. Yeah. Doesn't have a pack yet. He can afford it, though. And let's keep an eye on this T70, because it always has such a big impact. And with a mortar and an MG, he could wipe them if they get caught out of position. the mortar especially, because it gets decrewed with one model left.
Jesulin's reinforcing here. He really needs to get that pack.
He hasn't seen it yet,
He's
though.
mistimed this one a little bit.
Yeah, but he doesn't know where the T70 is,
No,
even
he
if
doesn't.
he is getting
the
one.
teller's still actually up here, but there's no way Pudding's going to actually drive over it. He knows where it is now. Here comes the T70.
Wait, hang on. Conscript support tactics? We forgot to browse over Puddingbag's commanders.
Yeah.
This is a very uncommon commander.
Yeah, you don't see this very often at all. Has the Conscript repair, has those PPSHs as well, so I'm guessing that's where the munis are going to be going. If you don't see Molotovs, you've got to assume PPSHs.
Well, he has Conscript repair, which is really, really nice to have with 4 cons. They don't quite repair as fast as engineers, but it still certainly helps the T70 stay on the field. PPSH is not the best map. Didn't actually sweep it.
Here we go.
Destroys the enemy with T70. Yeah, not the best map for PPSHs, but he will get one. Not sure how many. It can be nice to leave 1 or 2 squads without PPSHs and just leave them in a garrison and have that long-range firepower. T70 will go in for the flank. Is there any support nearby? Their pack now has hit the field. T70 is playing it safe.
You have to remember there was PPSH changes as well in terms of their medium and long range accuracy. So they're better now at medium and long range than they used to be.
Yeah.
I have to say I've tried to use PPSHs on Angoville before the changes. Not a fun time, but since the changes, I can see PPSHs potentially working. I have to see what
that
Jesulin
mortar
decides
shell.
to go for.
The mortar shell could even wipe this garrison. He gets
Ooh.
out just in time. The tag team gets into the garrison instead, but he can't really stick around for long. On the left side here, T70 is going deep. Pack will set up, will fire a shot. Hits the mark. Gren's almost getting the Faust, but actually just kidding, because Jesulin had no munitions.
He didn't, no.
So yeah, couldn't quite Faust that one. Actually pops the repair. So the thing is with the repair is it's pretty awful, because it doesn't actually out-heal a Faust. But it's very, very important because it means the difference between 2 pack shots and 3 pack shots. So, and same as P4 shots, for example. So that is basically a one-trick pony in terms of you use that to guarantee that your T70 will stay around for a lot longer in the field. But using it as more of a traditional repair, you need to really just repair it with engineers or with conscripts.
Yeah, Shreks are going to be out here for Jesulin. Decides he has to deal with this T70, which is completely correct. So this will delay any LMGs or other upgrades on the Grenadiers that he might have been thinking of, but the T70 is going to have a really rough time from now on.
Yeah, for sure, but he's invested a fair bit into it, so if there is a huge blob of PPSH cons, nice reface with this MG,
well
gets
played.
the flank. That's actually a Maxim that he built.
It was.
It might get rifle naded.
It could actually get wiped
Oh,
here for
he's
sure. It's
so low. It's only in light cover as well.
Ooh.
We'll lose that one, giving the Maxim away. Not going well for Puddingbag here. He's lost a con squad, now handing over a Maxim. Actually built a 82mm mortar.
Really nice predictive play there, I think, from Jesulin. Refacing that MG42, he gets the wipe on the Maxim, stops the flank from the PPSH cons. Really beautiful play.
Yeah, but still, I don't know how he's doing it, but Puddingbag has pretty much the entire map,
Yeah.
or at least most of the map.
I think it's just Jesulin just needs to use combined arms here. He has to in order to deal with the T70. That's what's stopping him from sending individual Grenadier squads over to the right-hand side.
Oh,
if
actually,
the T70 turns up,
he's going to give the MG back to Puddingbag. Has the rapid conscription, so he will get a free squad if he drops a lot of models. And he has a lot of munitions, so he can keep churning this out. And the incendiary as well is very powerful. T70 hasn't... Wait. The T70 died?
it died on the side. It must have done to the pack earlier. I thought it got away. It must have caught a shot on the...
Oh dear,
right
we
on
missed the
end.
T70
Yeah, it
being
must have done.
destroyed.
That's right.
Our apologies there, but with the T70 down, Jesulin, he's got a fair bit of fuel. He's going to have a P4 coming up pretty soon, and what is Puddingbag's answer to that? I mean, he's going to have to get a Zis gun, AT grenades, and that's not a very great solution.
It's going to be tough. I mean, Puddingbag...
Died here, wow.
Yeah, ended up dying... I think it was to the pack in the end. I really thought it got out of the arc. I saw it and then we flicked over. I thought it actually got out of the arc. Must have got out of there.
Yeah, or maybe just a burst of 2 Shreks and a pack shot.
Nonetheless, very mid-game focused commander here from Puddingbag. I mean, you hit that incendiary, what he's hit now, and then there's not really a lot more to look forward to. No call-in tanks. Not a lot in terms of call-in artillery either. So you would think if he wanted to close this game out, he wanted to close it out as early as possible.
Yeah. It's quite similar to, I forget the name of it, but the one that has PPSHs, heavy mortar and shocks, and then a Howitzer. That one's, it's good because you still get the PPSHs, But then you do have a bit more utility with the heavy mortar, with the shots. But yeah, I think the Conscript repair is what he's looking for. But with the T70 down now, yeah, I think Puddingbag's going to have to go for an SU-76. It's hard to say.
Definitely looking that way.
And that being said, Jesulin still hasn't actually locked in a commander yet.
So I mean, he doesn't really need to at this point.
No.
He has everything he needs. And if you don't need to knock in a commander, remember, you don't have to.
Yeah, it's true.
You can hold on to that choice for as long as possible. I guess it depends on how many munitions he can get coming in soon as to whether he might go close air support or... I think the obvious choice is... Lightning.
Yeah, Lightning Wall is certainly the safe bet. More versatile.
Still really good map control here from Puddingbag. We have to really give it to him. He's managing to hold on to these garrisons, even under mortar fire from that Vet 2 mortar.
Yep. So he's actually got 6 conscripts. So it looks like he's got a free squad from the rapid conscription, which is really keeping him back in the field. So really are making use of that. And I'm not sure if he built another squad or if he got another free squad, but certainly replenishing his conscript count. And the thing is with PPSHs is they don't necessarily need veterancy to do well. If you get a nice flank, it doesn't really matter if your squad's below vet. You're going to shred grenadiers up close with PPSHs.
Yeah.
Will this be on YouTube later? Yes, it will be on our YouTube channel.
So a couple of mortars going to be coming out here for Puddingbag. Yes, probably the best option he could go for if he wants to break away to deal with the MG42 in particular and be able to run up to these Shreks and the Grenadiers behind the superior cover. I guess he needs a couple of mortars to try and break this.
Puddingbag pretty much permanently has the rapid conscription. And that was some nice alliteration as well. But it's permanent. He's always getting free squads. Yeah. This is actually pretty crazy. And one thing to bear in mind is that Ango is a somewhat munitions-heavy map. You've got a munitions point on the left and the right.
Which still hasn't been capped yet, Mark.
Yeah,
so,
if you can hold both of those, even if he doesn't have the fuel, he's going to be able to just keep getting more and more con squads. So that's pretty important to see. No LMGs on these Grens.
No, not yet. I mean, Jesulin's been investing his munitions into a lot of other stuff. And that's the reasoning there, but obviously not giving the Grens a very good scaling until they do have those upgrades.
Yeah. One thing to bear in mind is LMGs aren't always good against PPSHs because PPSHs are quite immobile. Sorry, no, not PPSHs. LMGs are quite immobile, rather, because you can't fire while moving. They have a pretty big aim-fire delay.
G43s, on the other hand.
Yeah, exactly. So you can't really kite very well with LMGs, which is really what you want to do if you're getting called by PPSHs. So G43s can be a good option against PPSHs because then you can still be quite mobile. You have a really big boost to mid and close range firepower.
That's a nice rifle coming out from Jesulin. That mortar is donezo, my friend.
Yeah, so if I was Jesulin, I would perhaps consider going Lightning War, getting some G43s, and then he's going to have the Tiger to look forward to. Other than that, we do actually have a T-34-76, so going for the Tier 4 and building that one.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but is that 8 conscript squads?
Well...
Hang on, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7... That would be 8 conscript squads, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we love. That is,
yeah, 8 conscripts. And conscripts are a lot better now. A few patches ago, they got the Vet 3 received accuracy buff. They scale a lot better than, than what we were used to. So this could certainly work. I think the problem for Puddingbag is Jesulin has a lot of fuel in the bank. P4s would 1v1 this T-34 still could deal quite well with it. But it looks as though Jesulin's just going to go for his Tiger. Yeah, he doesn't really need any Tier 3, and that Tier 3 will certainly delay his Tiger. So I think he's happy just to chill. He's got Shreks, he's got a pack. He can fend off the T-34-76 until he actually gets a Tiger of his own. And then the other question is, will he go for T-43s or will he save up for his Stuka close air support, which is certainly going to help against the T-34 as well?
Yeah, it would be interesting. I think that's a really good play there from Jesulin. I mean, he waited until he saw where the fuel was going there for Puddingbag. In this case, he saw that it was going into T-34, then immediately locks in the commander. He just wanted a little bit more information before he actually made a choice and committed to something.
There wasn't really much choice, though, for Puddingbag. No call-ins. You pretty much had to go T-34 or just keep building like a T-70, which wouldn't really work. They die too easily. Katusha would be actually a good choice as well, I think.
You could just go like 15 con squads.
Yeah, 15 con squads is something, but the problem with that, you get a lot of upkeep. So you do bleed a lot of manpower.
especially as you head closer and closer towards that pop cap. So looks like it could be a big engagement here. A lot of PBSH cons running in, but they're against Grenadiers at long range, and the MG42 has a great arc.
They've hit the dirt, so they can't get suppressed. Bear that in mind. Molotov still not on the field just yet. Mortars are firing as well from the sides. The MG has a lot of damage. Hit the dirt doesn't prevent you from dropping models. Gren's on the flank as well. No instant ammo pop just yet, forcing the retreat. Rapid Conscription was still active, so do we get a 9th squad there? 1, 2, 3,
Yep,
4, 5.
pretty sure
Oh wow,
9.
we got a 9th squad. So yeah, Puddingbag, it was a horrible trade, but it was a horrible trade that gave him a free squad. So you know, do the math.
Can't be too bad.
Look at the map. Puddingbag just has almost all the points here. So he's going to get more and more munitions, so he can just keep churning out the Rapid Conscription. He's really denying the fuel from Jesulin. He's going to get a Tiger, that's no problems at all. But if he loses the Tiger, can he rebuild it? That's a question that Jesulin needs to consider. Needs to be very careful with his preservation. But actually, one thing we didn't bear in mind, look at this, the Tiger bulletins. Extra veterancy upgrades, so even more incentive to go for that one. And yeah, it looks at this stage, Jesulin is just going to be saving up for his just close air support rather than the G43s.
I think the only mistake Jesulin's really making here is he could go for them caches. It has a pretty manpower float at the moment. It has all the infantry squads that he needs as well. I mean, short of probably another Pioneer squad. Once the Tiger comes out, you want more repairs, but caches wouldn't be a bad idea. Even munitions caches, he's in desperate need of munitions at this point.
Yeah,
throwing them back on the safe points would be really nice.
Yeah, also with caches, you do get a bit of command points as well, so you do get your tanks quicker. But, I mean, the problem with that, though, is when you don't have map control, when you're so far pushed back, the T-34 can snipe them pretty easily. Finally, Molotovs have hit the field.
There we go. Puddingbag decided he had enough PPSHs, now he wants to invest in munis into something else.
Yeah, and these Grens are just getting ripped apart. There's just... Quantity is its own quality.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, Jesulin can't deal with this. It's like, I'm wiping squads, man. I'm dropping models, but more squads just keep appearing out of nowhere. Are we up to 10? Are we up to 10, Machine?
I think no, that's an engineer squad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
10 conscripts.
That's a lot. Yeah, Osvin perhaps would be a good idea, but that would have put him so far behind that he wouldn't have been able to go for this Tiger. He didn't really have the map control that he couldn't go both an Osvin and a Tiger in time. Osvin won't deal with the T-34, it'll get forced away. SU-85 is the follow-up here, so that can deal with the Tiger, especially with this many AT grenades. And the Tiger go for a flank, even a ram if he's desperate.
So looking towards our VPs now, we're down to 153 for Jesulin, and I think that's the good thing for Puddingbag. Puddingbag has so much time to play with at this point. 481 VPs for him, whereas Jesulin, I mean, he doesn't have a lot of time. If he loses this Tiger, he could be in some serious trouble. He doesn't really have enough time to hold out for a second one.
Yeah, and the funny thing is about this, you look at the squads and then look at the pop cap. Jesulin actually has more pop cap than Puddingbag. It's really the Tiger that's taking up a lot of the pop cap, but yeah, those cons not really having much pop cap relative to Grenadiers, relative to the Axis stuff.
Bit of a buff up now that SU-85's on the field.
He's got vet-free support weapons. Double MG is certainly going to help as well. I do like that one. AT grenades need to be researched, probably on their way now. That was a mass URA. And also, no, it wasn't. It was a mass rapid conscription.
A mass 11 conscript squad, perhaps, Machine?
Yep.
Or, yeah.
Unfortunately, he doesn't have enough munitions for an AT grenade. So, choosing the rapid conscription over than that. Oh, he actually may lose this one. No, he should be fine. Unless the Shreks fire. Will they get within range? One of them fires, but it misses, hits the ground. And it will get away, but actually he's not done just yet. Oh, he fires the second one! What happened, Puddingbag?
No.
Yeah, he stuck around for a little bit too long there after he escaped so closely. SU-85, he's found his target. He's looking for blood. Cons on the flank, but where are the AT grenades? They're not online just yet.
They're close.
Yeah, he's chasing it down. Still doesn't have it. The Tiger will waddle away. SU-85 moving in as well. The Tiger it has so many cons in front of it to give it vision as well, which is very important for the SU-85 to make use of its extra range.
T-34 going down there, I think, was a pretty big blow.
Oh, this Con Squad may go down.
Yeah, Con Squad could definitely go down here. There's so much manpower bleed going on, but so many more Conscript squads coming up on the field.
Yeah, and it really is impressive because when you have so many squads, it's really hard to micro them all, to pay attention to them, to retreat them on time. Squad preservation is such an important part of Company of Heroes too, and when you have 12 squads, it's just out of control. We'll actually lose. No, just kidding, gets away.
Very close
Garrison,
to actually losing that Garrison.
Yeah, almost survives, almost dies rather. SU-85 is going to be zoning the Tiger. He's forced away to his pack. He needs to hide behind the pack as the pack will then zone the SU-85 in turn. Still has the Shreks, which are going to be chasing down the SU-85. With the T-34, that's great news for Jesulin, but I think a Katusha at this stage would really ruin Jesulin's plans.
Definitely would. And another Pioneer squad. Oh, no, Jesulin actually has 2 now. Yeah, he's good to go. 2 Pioneer squads. Pretty good. Not too bad there to be repairing the Tiger. General Devon would yell at you for getting a 3rd Pioneer squad, though. If you really wanted to, we're not going to force you into anything.
Yeah.
So let's see if the SU-85 can actually rotate over here. Tough rotations for tank destroyers on this map here, because the right-hand side is pretty cluttered up. There's a lot of garrisons, and then you have to kind of get around the hedge to engage the Tiger on the other side. Makes it tough.
Yeah, also look at the VP placement. There's 2 VPs on the right side, and Puddingbag only needs to hold them for 91 more VPs to take this game. So I think Puddingbag should just chill, lock down the 2 VPs, wait for a rotation, and Jesulin's going to have a really hard engagement. He's going to have to engage something kind of bad because he's low on VPs. He needs Blitzkrieg as well. If he has Blitzkrieg, then he can try and dive down the SU-85. We do have enough munitions for a Ju-87 as well. This is very, very important. Tiger
Big fight.
Getting some shots off the SU-85 wasn't actually repaired. The Pigrins is suppressed by the Maxim. That's the call in the close air support. But the Tiger's so low, he has to back away. He can't follow up. And the Maxim will actually get wiped here. SU-85 is facing the wrong direction. It's juking out. The strafing run's doing a lot of damage here, but unfortunately, Jesulin, he can't commit.
No, Tiger definitely couldn't go into that one. Low already. Diving in after that SU-85 definitely would have been a mistake. And now PPSH cons just clean up, and Jesulin doesn't have the inventory to be able to deal with this. He doesn't have the upgrades. There's no G43s.
Yeah, and it would have worked for him perhaps if he could go in for almost killing. He needs to get out of the radius. Does now actually have AT grenades, which is nice to see. So it's going to take him a while to repair this Tiger. He has the left side locked down, but still, Puddingbag is trying to push through. And the problem for Jesulin is he can't build another Tiger. He has to go for a tier 3, which will take him quite a while, actually.
75 points here for Jesulin. Not enough munitions for another strafe either, so how's he going to deal with this SU-85? It's going to be repaired now, and let's see how many Conscript squads we can get repairing the SU-85 at once, Machine. I mean, is there a maximum amount, or could we have 12 squads repairing that SU-85?
We could. Yeah. We certainly could. And yeah, that Maxim placement was excellent. If it wasn't for that Maxim, the Shreks probably would have killed the SU-85. Yeah. Repairs it pretty quickly. Still has the 2 mortars as well, which can be really handy to have. They're both the Soviet mortars. So Pigrins with the Shreks aren't particularly good against PPSH cons.
Not so much, Machine.
The Tigers, however, are good against PPSH cons.
Tigers love PPSH cons.
Yeah.
They eat PPSH cons for breakfast.
And Jesulin, he has to use this Tiger despite it not being fully healed because he's running out of time. And yeah, there's just so many conscripts here. It's really out of control.
This is hard to deal with.
Yeah.
And not at all a common strat. You don't see this very often at all, so it's hard to play against. I mean, I'm not going to say it's the first time that Jesulin's seen it, but if you don't have the experience playing against it with a good player, it can be hard to do in a tournament.
Yeah, Icon Hawk, you must eat your words. I don't care if they taste horrible. You said that the conscript support was bad late game.
I lied.
You lied.
I lied so hard. I mean, you'd think so, wouldn't you? I mean, not a lot of call-in artillery, no call-in tanks, but you have about 12 conscript squads, so it's actually fine.
And we do see Puddingbag looking to really tighten the noose here with the 3rd VP. Actually, the second one's been neutralized.
It has.
He's out of munis for a Molotov.
Jesulin can't fight this. It's just not working.
Yeah, MG's being forced off now. There's definitely going to be game over here for Puddingbag. And yeah. And the thing is as well, is what was so impressive about this game is Puddingbag, he lost squads. He lost the Con, he lost the Maxim. He did actually get it back though, which is a bit of a mistake there from Jesulin. But yeah, it really didn't go well. It wasn't like the ideal situation here for Puddingbag. And yet still went so brilliantly. And yeah, the Tiger's scared, he's running for his life. The conscripts, there's just so many of them and they can grenade him at any time. He can't use this Tiger aggressively, and you have to use aggressively against the SU-85 because you just get outranged.
Well, Jesulin might have to go in with this one. Tiger's going to be running in with the SU-5. Can
Actually,
it start kiting?
You may get Fausted here. The grenades are within range, but here come the anti-tank grenades. Tiger misses on the ground. Damaged engine. SU-85 isn't even juking, but the closer he is, the better penetration.
Puddingbag's actually out of munitions here.
Yeah, the rate of fire is going to be too much for the Tiger. SU-85, it does get the killing blow. Tiger's destroyed. SU-85 reigns supreme. Conscripts, they're everywhere. There's too many of them. Pack is decrewed.
Just no support. You can't use any supporting weapons there. You can't support the Tiger that's going in. There's so many PPSH cons just absolutely everywhere. Wow.
Yeah,
impressive.
Third VP, it's held for now. He's going to have to retreat from the MG, but it's a matter of time here until the VPs do tick over. I don't even know what Jesulin could have done.
I'm not sure. Yeah.
Too many cons for a sniper. A sniper just would have ended horribly.
Yeah, no, definitely.
I mean, maybe a second MG earlier, but
I think there was a chance where there was room where Jesulin could have taken more map control than he actually did. He was pretty passive, and he let Puddingbag take a lot of map control early. Just really get those conscripts out. How many are we up to now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 conscript squads.
That's more than I have friends. No, like you think I'm kidding. Not really.
GG, well played.
GG. Well,
hard to deal with. Definitely hard. I mean, the mortars were there. Jesulin had the MGs.
Man, Puddingbag played brilliantly, and we can see why he's so underdog. He's the 7th seed, completely unexpected, and he just beat Jesulin in a 1v1.
He beat Jesulin in a 1v1. That's something you could write home about.
Yeah, you know, like beating Jesulin is a big deal. Jesulin is the winner of so many tournaments and has been regarded as the best player in Company of Heroes 2 for quite some time. DevM perhaps did take his throne with the OCF, but Jesulin still is regarded as one of the really top tier players. So that is game 1 of the best of 5 series. We will move on to our second game. Just for the record, we do have 5 replays. Doesn't mean to say this is actually going to all 5 games. We have no idea how this tournament actually went.
No, we have no idea. Yeah, we don't know how these games actually went. But man, I hope Jesulin pulls something out here.
Yeah.
So for everyone's knowledge, that was of course game 1 of the series. So it went to Puddingbag, and it was Puddingbag's choice of faction as well. Bottom seed picking the faction, and the top seed having the chance to respond there. So Puddingbag picked the Soviets, and this time we will see Jesulin, and he's going to be picking the US forces. Yeah,
I just want to quickly drop our YouTube channel into the Twitch, because we will actually be posting these videos onto our YouTube channel. We are recording this locally. No links. Oh, awkward.
We've been destroyed by Moobot.
Okay.
I've never been owned so hard.
Well, that's right. We'll go back to casting. Kyle, can you please give me privileges to post links in the chat?
Fantastic.
But it is youtube.com/ well, it's a really awkward URL. That's why I always like posting it. It's only a machine with a P and a 0. Ugh. I'll post it later. All right. So we'll go start this game pretty much right away here, because we're still keen. I mean, after seeing Conscript support tactics beating Jesulin in a tournament, like, come on, what are we going to see next? Defensive commander?
I'm not sure.
We'll get this one going. So Jesulin is now the US forces. Puddingbag is the insta-locking the Osttroppen. So Puddingbag, spamming is his thing.
Yep.
Yeah. So I know we have some fun trivia about Jesulin's US, if you want to let us in.
On the US?
Yeah, Jesulin's rank 1 as US.
Oh, he is, of course. Yeah, no, he is. Rank 1 as US. Having looked up Jesulin's ranks, it's kind of hard because a few of them have, I wouldn't say decayed, but they're hidden at the moment. So from being a little bit inactive. But Jesulin is rank 1 as the USF. I mean, Pudding, on the other hand, I mean, he's ranked pretty well as his Vermes. He's actually at rank, I'm pretty sure it's 22 on his Wehrmacht. His Wehrmacht and his Soviets are both very good.
I tried to post the YouTube again. It said deleted link, so we'll have to work on it. It's an iterative process here.
It is,
so
indeed.
Looking at the commanders, Jesulin, he has the Airborne, the Rifle Company, and he has the Heavy Cavalry. So that's probably the 3 strongest commanders that US has. Jesulin's actually south as well, so the spawns have changed as well as the factions, of course. So Osttroppen, he's got 2 of them. He's got an MG as well. Osttroppen, you do need to use them in synergy with support weapons. You can't really just spam them on their own. So having a couple of MGs really helps. So got a couple of riflemen. So
Yeah, pretty standard start from both of our players here. So those Ostrip are going to be coming out now. See what else Puddingbag decides to go for. I can't say I'm super familiar with the Ostrip build order.
there's a lot of variation.
In.
Yeah, MG will be suppressing and forcing the retreat here. So the Rifle Company would be a great choice here with this many garrisons. Having those flamers is very, very strong. Really, really helps killing those garrisons because US don't really have that many other alternatives. Your grenades, generally too expensive, easily dodgeable, delays your tanks too much, 25 fuel. It's kind of a big deal. US is a very momentum-based faction.
I agree with that. And it's interesting Jesulin decided to go right with that being said. Starting to get forced back now. Pudding's doing quite nicely. And this is, I think, a pretty standard Pudding tactic on Angoville at least. See that individual squad coming up the left? It's just chilling,
Pyos,
just capping.
yeah.
Pyos this time. It was the combat engineers in the previous game. This time it's going to be those pioneers just looking for the free caps, grabbing as much as he can.
Now this is a nice flank here. He's got the echelon inside of the garrison with a rifleman closing in. Very nice to see because the Ostrupen, they're not very good against up close against riflemen especially. And the good thing about having pioneers solo capping is it means that if you send a rifleman squad to contest them, you're trading a weak squad for a strong squad. So it helps out your map control rather than capping with a strong squad such as a grenadier or a rifleman. We'll be going for the cutoff as well. Actually, nice wire here, making it a little bit harder for Jesulin to hold that one. But still, cutoff being taken, and it's going to be hard for him to defend this because he has to walk around. Rifleman can close up.
Smart move, I think, coming in there from Jesulin. Going for the cutoff and forcing these Ostrupen to engage in a situation where they don't want to, where they're out of cover, they're not supported, and the Riflemen pretty much have free reign.
Yeah, exactly. He's staying inside the capping circle rather than closing to the light cover, but he doesn't even need to. Ostrupen is getting destroyed by Riflemen. And Puddingbag, he has most of the territory. The Ostrupen do give you that capping power, but this cutoff, very vital. The Ostrupen, got to be careful here. It does retreat now. Yeah, should be fine though.
Yeah, drop
Close.
the back model that was actually retreating, should be fine. One model does at least get away here.
So one thing about Ostrupen though is it's a lot of Fausts. So it's actually kind of hard to use US light vehicles against them because there's just so many Shreks everywhere. Sorry, Fausts everywhere.
Fast everywhere. Yeah, it makes it tough.
Jesulin actually has a fair bit of manpower floating, which makes me curious what he's actually going for. Maybe a pack Howitzer after his captain once he gets the feel for it. I mean, I don't really know what else he would be going for.
Would make sense given the amount of manpower float he has at the moment.
Because if he went left-handed for an MG, he would already have it by now. It's 50 fuel, I think. Is it? I know captain is 60.
I believe that's correct.
It's 50.
Yeah, it is 50.
Cool.
Yep. Never doubt yourself, machine. I trust you. Absolutely, my friend.
It means a lot.
Love it. So, yeah, not too much more to say at the moment. Does look like Puddingbag will be able to take back his cutoff, which is nice. And that wire, as you were saying, machine, is going to be really important. Whoop, there we go. Inside the circle again and behind the heavy cover. Ostrupen, that's where they want to be.
Oh, Flamer Pyro. Wow, so Puddingbag actually not having a medic bunker. Doesn't have the munitions for it, so he's not too far off. And I think he needs that the Pyro Flamer because the Ostrupen can't deal with the Rifleman on their own. 222 as well, so this is going to be great. A very open map, at least the left side is. Right side, kind of, in certain areas. So it really forces off retreats. He has a captain coming off, but you can just avoid the captain. 222 is really strong against US, more so than Soviets at least.
And it's a really nice choice. It supports the Ostrupen really well. And using it against Jesulin, who I always counted as one of the best users of the 222. This is going back right to kind of when the US forces were actually released, when you had the Western Front armies coming out. Jesulin's 222 micro was absolutely incredible. The things he could do with that 222 and just never lose it were pretty great. So we see Puddingbag using it against him, and it's really going to be working here.
The 222, it really is a palette for micro. Yeah, have your own artistic vision
Bit of
that
flair
projects
involved there.
onto the autocannon. And so, also one thing to bear in mind is you counter a 222 generally with light vehicles, like a Stuart in this case. But again, with so many Fausts on the field, well, there's only 3 of them, so actually going for Peagrens instead, maybe for some Shreks. But in principle, if you have 4 or 5 Ostrupen, it's harder to use those vehicles to counter the 222. Well, we'll actually be the heavy cavalry commander locked in Smoke Barrage, using that to advance against the MG perhaps. Yeah, nice, we see it here. That's really the advantage of that smoke, is you can use it to flank those MGs so early on.
Probably the best way to use it.
Yeah, without having to actually invest in the grenade. The 222 has rotated. Oh, but look at the veterancy. It's going to ding Vet 1. And it will allow him to use the nade, but he has to retreat. He was too low for it. Very, very closely managed there. Pack Howitzer almost gets a wipe. Wait, no, that did get a wipe.
Definitely got a wipe machine. So
Yeah.
Pack Howitzer coming out just in the nick of time here for Jesulin. Gets him a wipe.
Oh,
Can
wow.
it net him a second wipe here? That would be absolutely huge. No, the riflemen aren't actually firing here. They're on the side. The Austrian squad does actually survive here. That was a nice play from Jesulin. He was saving up for that. Went captain straight into the Pack Howitzer. Knew exactly how much manpower he needed.
Isn't it the best feeling in the world when your first shot kills 5 models?
And then almost wipes an MG. The rifleman can
Wow.
probably finish this one off here. This Pack Howitzer is doing work, my friend.
Has some great accuracy this time around. Pigren's going to be dealing with the captain. Only has the Thompson. Actually, no, he has a rifle, so he has pretty much no damage against the infantry. But Pack Howitzer, what? What is going on here with this Pack Howitzer? And actually, he only has 1 rifle, but will it be enough to wipe the Pigren's? If he does, it would be the boss of all captain squads.
Wow.
But no, he does get away. Thompson, maybe you've got it in the end. Echelon! I believe negative cover as well against the Pigren's!
Echelon wipe. That's my favorite type of wipe machine.
Yeah, Echelon wipe is definitely quite glorious.
Oh, not the 222 as well. Pudding, what's happening, man? What's going on?
That is disastrous for Puddingbag. But once again, Puddingbag has pretty much the whole map, despite losing 2 squads now, one of which being a Pigren squad, which is pretty hard to replace. Other than that, though, let's have a look at the field. Jesulin, he probably will go for a Stuart now that he's actually wiped the Pigrens. The Shreks aren't really an issue. He's going to have to rebuild them. And he does have a lot of munitions for it, though. Yeah, 222 actually very low. Has to be careful of a Pack Howitzer shot. It will wipe it with this little health, but the Pyros actually retreat. They may have wiped the Echelon with a Flamer.
Yeah, had to run away from that one. MG42 on the side here. We'll try and get a few more caps. Jesulin forcing his way up the middle here. Really going to have to get some repairs down on that 222. Want to use it again. It's definitely 1 Pack Howitzer shot away from absolute death. And here's the Stuart.
Yeah, wow. What is the answer here for the Stuart? I don't even know. Especially if Jesulin goes for ranges or bars, then he's going to have such strong anti-infantry. The Osttroop and the Pigrens can't deal with bar riflemen, with Thompson ranges perhaps. Man,
I think Pudding just relied on having way more map control and not losing so much the Pack Howitzer. I mean, initially it's pretty much 10 model drops in the space of about 20 or 30 seconds.
Man, that Pack Howitzer, it's pretty much if Jesulin wins this game, it is entirely on the back of the back of this Pack Howitzer. And Puddingbag, he had the majority of their map control, and then all of a sudden things went horribly wrong, as they are now to this MG42. It's pinned.
We have to be retreating from this one. I'm not sure how Pudding's going to deal with it. So he's got a squad of Pigrens now. He's got the minis for the Shreks. I guess that's what he's going for here, as opposed to a pack which is less mobile than the Pigrens are.
Yeah, maybe some mines. But it's so hard to place mines when you're really pushed back, as he is now. But a telemine in between these garrisons is nice. I quite like this one here. You often see vehicles chase down against a squad wipe and then hit that teller. Because you expect a telemine to be here. So you want to kind of mine on not completely obvious places.
Unexpected, yet ones where vehicles are likely to pass over.
Yeah, exactly.
So Stuart's playing pretty safe here, which is good from Jesulin. He doesn't know if there's a pack.
Which there isn't.
Yeah, which there isn't, as it happens to be. But he has no idea, so he could be just shooting away.
Yep, so has the Shreks now, or just about to get them now. Going to pop any moment. 222 as well. If he fires a burst and they both hit, he may go in, but actually the captain is zoning away the 222.
Yeah, one of them actually missed.
Yeah, so he won't be able to. And yeah, Puddingbag, I don't really know what his option is. He hasn't gone any munitions transfer, so he's actually not too far off. He's tier 3. Yeah.
What have we got just came in for Jesulin, my friend?
Oh, would be some rangers, in fact.
There would be some rangers. Ready, straight up upgrade to those Thompsons. I'm just not sure what Pudding can do here.
Yeah, I think he's lost too much.
He's in a pretty tight position.
Especially with US. If they get a lead early, they really snowball it. They can rush out. The Stuart, as we see with Zones U, makes it hard to use infantry. If he gets an M8 or a Sherman, there's no major. He has the Pershing available, but it's a long way off. He's only on 5 command points, so probably going to see a tier 4 major before that, especially given how much fuel or how much territory he has.
Not really sure what's the will be here. Yeah, the captain was just such a good choice here from Jesulin.
You know what I'm really looking forward to?
I think he saw that 222 coming, I'm sure he did.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he must have seen that coming. To go for the captain straight to the back Howitzer, it was really the ideal way to play against the strategy.
I mean, even if it isn't coming, it's just a very safe build. Having the captain tech is generally more versatile than the left-handed.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, the pack Howitzer, the AT guns.
That's the way to go.
I'm really looking forward to the bazooka accuracy increases in the new patch coming out in December.
Definitely.
Well, that's the incendiary ammo.
A lot of cool stuff coming out then. So.
Actually, the Stuart gets hit.
Going to get the second burst. No, Stuart's going to be backing away in time.
And the thing is with Angoville South is you have a lot of really safe positions for the pack Howitzer. Behind this fence, how is Puddingbag going to wipe that pack Howitzer? Yeah. He's not going to be able to.
You can't get around the wall, and with the addition, not only just because of where it is, you can't just run straight up to it. There's also the garrison of all garrisons on Angoville that's going to be covering that point here.
Oh,
you
right.
can't run squads past the riflemen inside that garrison and get absolutely shredded.
Yeah. And it's pretty close to the base, so even if you do flank it, it's not far off the base MGs. Look
Really
at the
nice map control from Jesulin.
Yeah, looking at the VPs, Puddingbag is actually ahead though.
He is, yeah.
He had the map control in the early and mid game for a while. Well, I guess still early game.
In classic Puddingbag style, just having huge amounts of map control despite having lost a couple of squads. So.
Yeah, actually, Stuart may be going a little bit too deep here. No. He has to be careful of the incendiary ammo as well. Incendiary ammo plus a 222 burst in combination with 2 Shreks will wipe it out in a very short amount of time. But again, the captain zones for the 222, so really nice active use of these infantry-based AT. And I think this Osttruppen commander doesn't really have much else to offer for him. He has the railway eventually, but what else?
But he just tries to hang on to this right-hand side from the looks of things. He's got a few points there, has at least 1 VP, so he can try and stall this game out. If he can get control of the fuel as well, that would be fantastic. Then I have the fuel, the munis, he has a VP. I mean, there's a chance he might be able to come back into this game. Going to be going for a sniper here.
Yeah, actually something that we didn't mention is Puddingbag actually skipped his tier 1.
He did.
The infantry company. He went straight for the tier 2. So he got the 222 and the Peagrins out really fast. You Osttruppen and MGs. You don't need a barracks for that. So he actually back-teched to get a sniper. So now that the HMG is on the tier 0, you really can actually skip that tier 1 now.
Yeah.
Couldn't see before. Nades come out from the Rangers. They don't need the upgrade. Doesn't quite get the wipe, but the Thompsons probably will.
Yeah, they probably will.
He actually jukes around the side. Maybe he should have stayed in the garrison.
So we're going to be going for the retreat here. Those MG could definitely go downhill.
Yeah,
the
100%.
Pyres could even... Yeah, MG actually does fall here. 222 should be able to prevent the caps here.
Yeah, that, and it's pretty close to the base of Puddingbag.
You can't be standing that close to Rangers though, my friend.
The SMGs are pretty powerful up close, even against vehicles, but the 222 can push it around. More units are moving in here from Jesulin.
Smoke's going to be coming out as well. A nice approach to that MG. Could definitely be another wipe, especially with the... just on the retreat path. Can we get the MG?
That's a telemine.
Wow, it is a telemine.
It's swept though.
Has been swept by those rear echelon.
So one thing I wanted to point out there is if you're in a situation where you 100% know that your MG is definitely going to die, if you actually leave it in the garrison, it means when the MG is wiped, it can't get recrewed. The MG disappears. So if you retreat quite futilely, then you really just lose out because now you give your opponent an MG when you could have prevented that from happening.
So what's up?
GG, well played.
Yeah, Pudding's just going to have to call it here. Lost a hell of a lot of squads. That pack Howitzer just had such a huge impact. First shot gets a squad wipe. That's the ideal way for those support weapons to actually come into the game is to get a squad wipe.
And a really shout out to Jesulin there for following up on that Peagrin squad. Not only did he send his effectively one-man captain squad, he then sent rear echelon through from the cutoff, which probably only wiped it because of the negative cover.
Yeah.
So, yeah, really nice follow-up there. You really got to throw everything that you possibly can to try and you get those wipes as a follow-up there. So, Yeah, really, really well played game from Jesulin. He definitely needed that one to give him the confidence back from losing out in that first game. So the score is now, it's 1-1 for both Jesulin and Puddingbag. If you are just joining us, this is the semi-finals for the Flexi-Time Championship number 4. We are the Generals, gentlemen.